Hey everyone, this is Robert, the amateur trader. It is Sunday, June 2nd, 2019. Hope you all have enjoyed your weekend. Getting ready for work this week, the next trading week. I wanted to put out a video tonight, try to make it quick, on some stocks that have hit my scanners that I want to build a watch list out of for Monday the 3rd. These are going to be short stocks, short plays, because the market has been trending down lately, and you're almost you might as well just throw your money into the wind if you're going to try to play against the market. Yes, you can make money on it sometimes, but you have a better chance of the trade going against you and losing money, and we're not here to lose money. So we're talking about shorting plays. This info could potentially be used for put options, but I don't really do anything with options. They behave differently than stocks, but the charts are going to be the same. You're going to do technical analysis on it either way. So if you trade options, that's fine, but these are for strictly just for shorting stocks. I am going to go over one stock that is a potential long position. Well, like I said, most of them are going to be shorting. All right, let's get right into this. We're looking at CGC. One of the first things I'm going to say is when I look for my swing trade stocks, I look at a time frame that's at least 6 months. You can go a year if you want, but I go at least 6 months because it kind of gives you, without everything being too small, it gives you a view on what the stock has been doing for at least a half a year, where your trends are now. And like I had said about, you don't want to trend against the overall stock market right now. You also don't want to go against the trend of whatever stock that you're in. If your stock is trending up, you don't want to bet short on it because the stock is trending up. If it's going down, you don't want to go long on it because, same reason. So what I'm going to talk about is in my strategy, which I will get into more in depth in the next couple of weeks. I use Bollinger Bands, the DEMA, which is double exponential moving average, and I use the MACD, the RSI, and I have the DMI indicator on my chart. The DMI is just kind of a confirmation of the confirmation of the confirmation. You don't have to use it. It's just something that I have there, and a lot of times I don't even look at it. It's there. So those are the indicators that I use, and like I said, I'm going to get into my strategy a lot more in depth in the coming weeks. But getting into the watch list. Ticker number 1, CGC, Canopy Growth Company. As you can see, for about the last month, this has kind of been trending down. Because we're going short, I'm looking for the DEMA line to be below the middle Bollinger Band. This green line is the DEMA line. All right, the blue line is your middle Bollinger Band line. The DEMA is below the middle Bollinger Band. All right. I generally look for the price to be at or near the top or bottom Bollinger Band line, depending on which way I'm going. In this case, we're going short. I want the close to be at or near or even below the bottom Bollinger Band line. I want my MACD to be trending down. I want it to have good bright red candles. I want the blue MACD line to be below the white MACD line. I want them to be getting wider. I want my RSI to be at least 50 or preferably below. 40 is even better. And if you decide to use the DMI, and I don't use the DMI the way that it's supposed to be used, but it's just an indicator. You've got your red line, your pink line, and a green line. Your red line is money coming out. Green line's money coming in. So obviously, looking at this, we've got a lot of money coming out of this. Okay, so from the short side, we are set up perfect. We have the DEMA line has crossed below the middle Bollinger Band line. My candles on my MACD are getting a little bit longer every day, and they're bright red. And my blue line is below my white line. My RSI is at 34, so we're good. My price is at the bottom Bollinger Band line, and it had a gap down from Thursday to Friday, which just helps to, it's going to help to push this stock further down. So that's CGC, and to back up a little bit, when I'm looking at a stock to go up or down, whatever, Just because maybe it has a pullback day doesn't necessarily mean that the trend's over. Yeah, you can always close your position and open up again when you're sure that the trend is going to go down. But even more, but my strategy is not just a from today to tomorrow strategy. It's sometimes it's a week long strategy. I've held just this week, even ANF, I held for 3 days, taking it down before I finally decided, hey, my money's better put somewhere else. So it's not just a 1 day thing. You're going to take this down until you believe that move, that downward or upward move, is over. All right. So that's CGC. That's the first stock that I want to put on my watch list. Second one's going to be Foot Locker. This one is on the watch list, but it's not necessarily going to be at the top of my watch list because it's already been going down for the last 5 days. I actually did play this on the gap down for a day, and I took my money and I moved on. But one of the things that makes this stock interesting for a swing trade still is the fact that it is slowly trending down. You can see that with your Bollinger Bands and the price action. Your middle Bollinger Band is coming down. Your price right here is at the bottom Bollinger Band line. All right, so if we zoom in, we've got this gap down. We've got a from 50, call it almost 53 to 45. We got a $9 gap down here. So that's a significant drop with that earnings report. Generally speaking, gap downs tend to continue to trend down for several days. But we were already set up. The Dean was below the middle Bollinger Band line. This is at the bottom Bollinger Band line, price action. We had this gap down. We still have good downward momentum on our MACD candles, and we're still getting wide with our blue and our white MACD lines and the blue lines below the white line, and the RSI is just about as low as you can go. So this is still a potential, but because of the fact that it's been running down for the last 5 days since the gap plus 2 days before, it's something that I would watch. It's a watch, but it's not at the top of my list. All right, BHC, Bosch Health. So we're going sideways the last couple of months, but the DEMA line crosses the middle Bollinger Band line 5 days ago. All right, and then it starts moving down, and once it made that cross, was that Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, once it made that cross Monday, I probably wouldn't have made a purchase that day or made a sell that day. But after this engulfing candle Tuesday and the price getting really close to the bottom Bollinger Band, that would have been an ideal spot to make that position. So you could have gone back this far. But we're looking at it now. The price is below the bottom Bollinger Band line. My candles are getting longer on my MACD. My blue line's getting further away from my white line, and it's still below it. The RSI is significantly low. So this is something that's on my radar for the next couple of days. Again, we are down for a week and a half on the price on this. So it's up to you whether you want to see if it's going to cool off for a day and then continue down. It's up to you on how to play it. I can't tell you that. All I can tell you is how the strategy works. The odds are there. The probability is there that this stock is going to continue down. All right, for the last on the short side, we're looking at Love, Southwest Airlines. Been trending sideways for a couple of months here, and if you look, it hit a support point here at about $51, and then the price just took off to the downside. Had a gap down from Thursday to Friday, and a significant drop, a $1.79 drop on Friday. That's a pretty good drop. Our MACD line, or our MACD candles are getting longer. They're still bright red. The blue line's pulling away from the white line. The RSI is oversold. All right, so this is good for a short. The only stock that I would even consider on the long side, again, we're talking about how the the stock market's trending down right now, so you're betting against it. NEM is the only thing that I looked at, and I don't go through all of my watch list, but I go through the first 10, 15, and this is really one of the only ones that it really stood out to me for my strategy. All right, so it's been trending down, but it started to curl back up. We had the DEMA cross on the 23rd of May is when the DEMA crossed over. Price actions at the top Bollinger Band. Remember, everything's going to be opposite now because we're going up. The DEMA crossed above the middle band. The price is at the top band as opposed to the bottom band. Our MACD is showing the price is moving up. Our blue band is above the white line and widening, and the RSI is up above 50. All right, so this is the one that I saw for the potential for a long for a couple of days. I mean, like I said, take the trend up, take it until the trend stops, take it until your stop loss hits. If you have the option of setting a trailing stop loss, depending on what platform you're using, set your trailing stop loss. If it stops out, take your money, and then if the trend continues up, you can always get back in. But always take profits when you can. You're never going to go broke taking profits. You never sit there and say, oh, I wish I would have got in then. I could have got in then. If I'd have held it for another day, I could have made so much more money. You didn't hold it for another day. You didn't get in when you got in, but you made money on it, and that's all that matters. Always set your stop losses. I can't stress this enough. Set your stop losses. Protect your capital. Protect the money that you have made, and just be successful at this. We will look at one stock that I am holding over the weekend, SLB. I think that's one of the only ones that I'm holding. Oh no, I've got BAC too. All right, so SLB, we're looking at, it's in a downtrend for the last month and a half. It is hitting a support that it hit back in December, so it might bounce around here. We'll see what happens. I don't plan on really holding this more than another day or two, depending on what it does, but we still have downward momentum on the MACD. The blue line's drawn away from the white line. RSI still oversold. All right, I want to take a look at BAC as well. This is a position that I'm currently holding. We started trending down. Our DEMA line crossed over. Price is below the DEMA line. Price is at the lower Bollinger Band line. And looking at our MACD lines, we did have a little bit of consolidation right here. This kind of showed a possible reversal, but we kicked it back down into trending down. Our blue line separating from the white line, and the RSI is oversold. Hopefully this all made sense, because I haven't gone over the strategy with you guys, but hopefully I kind of put a little bit into perspective for you guys. Keep an eye out on my videos over the next couple of weeks, because I will be getting that strategy out there to you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this video. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down there for me. Check us out on Facebook at The Amateur Trader. And check back often for video, guys. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you make some money this week off of the calls, or just in general. Everybody have a good week trading. We'll see you next time.